This person is asking, so Tony is roommates with the Void and Sentry. That's got to be an interesting sitcom. There's a better sitcom than that. You want to see an interesting sitcom? We got to read Dark Avengers issue 3, where Norman Osborn took over Stark Tower and goes into Bob's room where his wife is just chilling there doing nothing, and we see that Norman tells him there is no void. And even offer Bob Five Guys burgers. I mean, he's pointing at this dude and saying, bitch, there's no void, there's no goblin. Like I said, no void, no goblin. Say it. Say it with me, Bob. There is no void. Norman Osborn had control of like S.H.I.E.L.D., the Avengers, Stark Tower. Like, this is after the events of Civil War, if I'm not mistaken. At this moment, Norman Osborn is trying to recruit Sentry into the Dark Avengers, or the new Avengers team. And he keeps telling him that I hear voices too in my head, goblins as well. And Sentry tells Norman, you know about him? The Void? And he's like, yes, Bob, I know about the Void. Bob talks about, hey, every time I do a good deed, the Void takes over and I do a bad deed. And Norman's like, the Void is you, Bob, okay? It's you. There is no he, Bob. It's just you. There is no void. What Norman does realistically is just make Bob kind of forget about the Void and just say, it's just you. Now, Tony tried to do some of this stuff. I don't believe he was as successful as Norman. I think Norman actually did a pretty good job because he has those inner demons as well. Because the goblin is really just a spirit. It's not really Norman Osborn. And he pointed at that bitch and is like, Bob, there's no void, okay? Do you hear me? There's none. By the way, when this is happening, his wife is still alive. She's just on the bed, petrified. Look at that. And Morgan Le Fay is watching this shit. Like, what? But yeah, Norman Osborn offered him to buy Five Guys burgers for joining the Avengers, the Dark Avengers. They're roommates at this point. Imagine having Bob as a roommate on Stark Tower, or just this tower. I think it'd be a trip. I'm not going to lie. You're going to hear a lot of like banging and probably a lot of like crazy shit. But hey, Bob seems chill. I'm not going to lie when the Void is not there.